Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us for another episode of Meat and Potatoes with me, your host, Desi. Now, today, we're back here at Hops and Vines, one of my favorite spots in Williamstown, and we have quite a treat for you today. Now, the Tony Award-winning Williamstown Theatre Festival has consistently been one of the top summertime attractions in the Berkshires, presenting both new and classic works that feature a tremendous cast of actors, directors, and designers. And it's always a pleasure to go take a seat at the 62 Center and watch the magic unfold. But today, we'll watch the magic unfold right here before our very eyes, because we have the pleasure of speaking to the artistic director of the Williamstown Theatre Festival, none other than Miss Mandy Greenfield. Mandy, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us on the show today.
Thank you for asking me. I always have time for you, Desi.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you very much. Now, first question, let's just get this out of the way, okay? Theater. Is it spelled with an E-R or R-E?
That's an excellent question. So, I believe the British English spelling of the word theater ends in R-E.
Okay.
And the American spelling of the word theater ends in E-R. Oddly, we are an American theater festival,
right?
But we have elected to use the British spelling of theater, which is
see.
R-E.
So the Williamstown Theatre Festival is Theatre.
Correct.
Oh, well, and you of course put on shows at the 62 Center here in Williamstown. Now, Center, that might be confusing too, because can't that be R-E or E-R?
I believe, I'm no linguist, I'm a mere artistic director,
right.
But I do believe center can also be spelled in the British tradition of R-E. However, in this case, we embrace the American spelling, which is E-R.
I see, so you're mixing it up a bit.
We're crazy like that, Desi.
You know, theater people, that's what happens,
theater
right?
People, exactly.
Yeah. Now, you started as the artistic director of the Williamstown Theatre Festival in September of 2014. Now, tell me, what exactly is an artistic director? I just picture somebody sitting in one of those tall chairs with a bullhorn, like painting pictures.
Barking orders.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what you do?
You know, I've been known to bark some orders, but I guess I would sort of describe it as the artistic director is the creative, artistic head of the theater company. In this case, we are a theater festival, but most theater companies have artistic directors. And the artistic director is the person whose vision is kind of leading the company forward. So there's a mission, and the mission doesn't change. The mission of the Williamstown Theatre Festival is on our website. You can read it. It's what we do. It's what we will always do. And an artistic director is brought on to sort of execute a vision against that mission. And that vision is articulated in the choice of plays, in the choice of artists, in the way that we're executing the work, in the priorities and values that we bring to the making of the work. And so I guess you could think of me almost as an editor of sorts.
Okay.
Working for a publisher, and the publisher in this case is the Williamstown Theatre Festival.
Okay, so you can choose some of the works that come in. Well, not some of them. You probably choose all of them, right?
Well, yes, and Desi, actually, I'll just adjust one thing you said.
Okay.
The shows don't come in. The shows are made here.
Oh,
we make our work. So that's really one of the distinguishing factors of a theater company from almost every other medium.
Sure.
The work on our stages doesn't exist until we put it together. And so it's really being made for the first time in Williamstown by the artists who are here with us each summer.
That's awesome. It's almost like you produce them here, right?
That is correct. We produce them.
You say we, which means you probably have a bunch of people helping you too, right? Of course. I mean, putting on theater is a big job.
So many people helping us. We have a year-round full-time staff of 11 people, almost half of whom are in Williamstown all year. The other half of whom, including myself, work out of an office in New York City.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then in the summer, we expand to nearly 375 people.
Wow, 375?
And by the way, we are equal opportunity employers. If you would like to work with us, There are positions available next summer for puppets.
Oh, wow. I'll keep that in mind. You heard it directly from the artistic director of the theater festival.
I can't go back. Right? It's true.
Equal opportunity employer. Well, thank you for making room for, little green monsters in your production. Yeah. Now, so Mandy, you started as the artistic director of Williamstown Theatre Festival. Now, since then, you've produced several world premiere plays, which means these are plays that have never been seen before. Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. Last year last year was 2016. You had 4 new plays that had never been seen before. Is that right?
It's funny, Desi, your memory is stronger than mine.
Really?
Last year seems almost a decade ago now.
Right, yeah.
This summer, though, we have 6 new works and 1 revival. My background is in new play development, so we work with living playwrights who've written a play, often in the kind of comfort and solitary sort of nature of their office or workspace, and then we bring a team of collaborators around them and we develop the work and we sort of help them continue their work on it, and then we produce it. We launched a commissioning program in 2015, so we also have some commissioned artists who are writing plays specifically for the Williamstown Theatre Festival.
That means you're like, hey, you, come write a play for us.
That's exactly right.
Cool.
Hey, you. Come write a play for us.
Awesome.
And so, yes, we're working with living playwrights all of the time. We have a playwright in residence. For so long, actors have really been the centerpiece of the Williamstown Theatre Festival.
Sure, yeah.
And directors have always been celebrated at the Williamstown Theatre Festival. And now we also embrace living writers, and they're as much a part of what we're doing as anything else.
That's great. Now, so you read a bunch of plays and you get to choose which ones come, right?
I do.
And now,
I do.
What is it about a play that really sticks out to you when you read something? And you seem to have an eye for greatness, because everything that all these new plays have been tremendous. So
that is very kind of you to say. Well, I read about 275 plays every year.
What?
Yes, 275.
That's a lot.
And, I have 2 little boys, Gabriel and Ezra, and they are often asking about what I'm reading, if they can read the parts as well.
Oh, I bet that's fun.
But I do read about 250 plays, 275 plays every year, and from those plays, we kind of whittle down to the plays that feel the most stage-worthy, the most exciting, the ones most relevant, connective. That's in part because of the quality of the writing, or because the writer is really bravely taking on something I've never seen on stage before. It can be any number of sort of factors that really equal why a play winds up on the stage. But personally, I'm quite drawn to great inventive writing and to stories that I haven't seen on stage before.
That's wonderful. That's great. Well, Mandy, now this past spring, you were actually honored at the Lilly Awards with the Giant in Theater Award. Now, I'm not a large monster myself, but I mean, you're barely breaking 5.5 feet. How do you get a Giant in Theater Award?
Desi, you've really done your homework. I was really honored to get that award. The Lilly Awards recognize the achievement of women in theater, and I don't know, maybe they'd run out of other women to give it to, but I was very honored. Cynthia Nixon, who was here in 2015 in a play called Kinship, gave me the award. She was the presenter.
That's great.
And it was really thrilling. It was really thrilling. I think it was given to me in large part because what that organization is trying to recognize is not only the achievement of women in the theater, but also, I guess my track record for producing includes parity, which means that I've produced a kind of equal number of plays by men and by women, which I think was a fact that they...
that makes sense, really.
Although I didn't know it. That was a fact that they sort of told me at the awards. I actually had not done the math on it, but... it was a nice fact to learn.
Well, congratulations. That's a great honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Is it a giant trophy? Is it 12 feet high?
It's not a giant trophy. It's a delightful little medallion on a red ribbon that I can wear around my neck any day of the week if I choose.
Well, you should have worn it here to the show. Show it off a little bit.
If only you'd reminded me.
Okay, let's see. I got a couple more questions here for you. Okay, so this is a hypothetical.
Yeah,
okay?
go for it.
You have a niece or a nephew that is in a high school play.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have to go see it.
Yeah.
Now, what play is so great, in your opinion, that you wouldn't mind sitting through maybe a mediocre high school production of it?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. So I don't have, my kids are 7 and 9.
Okay.
And my nieces and nephews are all around the same age, or just slightly
so
older.
purely hypothetical.
So it's
right?
purely hypothetical,
Right.
because of course I would go see any of my nieces,
Of
any of my
course,
nephews,
of
in
course.
anything that they were going to perform in. Of course, and I would love it with my whole heart.
Right.
You know, I think that Pippin is a really wonderful musical.
what a great
that
musical,
when
yeah.
kids do it, it can be enchanting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel as though there's going to be sort of hordes and hordes of Hamilton versions that will come up. That will be fun to watch.
Like Hamilton Juniors.
Like Hamilton Juniors.
Probably a lot of those, huh?
You know, I feel like when kids do theater, as long as they're doing it with their whole heart and their whole soul, the material will carry, and they will be beautiful.
That's
They'll
right.
be
It's
amazing.
like, go for it, do your best, and we will enjoy it, right?
That's right. Can I tell you one other thing, Desi?
Oh, yes, please.
Do you know that we have a community works project that we do every summer? And there are many kids involved because we make a piece of theater. This year it's called Once Upon a Time in the Berkshires.
Cool.
And it happens for 4 performances in August on the main stage. It's family friendly, like this, and it's free of charge. And there are going to be a lot of local kids in it.
Oh, that's great.
I would say the show that I'm most excited to see kids perform this very summer is Once Upon a Time in the Berkshires at the Williamstown Theatre Festival.
So kids out there, you know, there's always an opportunity for you when the theater festival's in town.
That's true.
If you're dreaming to be on stage, you know, there's plenty of opportunities out there, right?
You do not lie, Desi.
All right. Okay, one last thing, and then we'll get into a little something else here. Now, we'll change pace a bit. Now, you come up here to Williamstown in the summer, and it's always beautiful. It's great to be here in the summer. What's your favorite thing to do in the summer in Williamstown on a beautiful summer day?
Oh, Desi.
Besides theater, I mean, that's what you do most of the time.
All of the really wonderful things I don't get to do because I'm making plays
You're
all
so
summer.
busy all the time.
And theater happens inside, and we have so many plays to put together. I'll tell you a couple of things. I love to play tennis on the tennis courts here in Williamstown.
They have great tennis courts here.
And I love to eat ice cream at Lickety Split.
Lickety Split, that's my favorite. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I just had a coconut chocolate chip situation that was excellent.
That sounds like a great situation to be in.
It was a really good situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time. We're coming down to the end of the show. It's time for 3 questions with Desi. So, Miss Greenfield,
Yes,
Miss Greenfield.
I'm nervous.
We have 3 questions for you today. I'm going to test your knowledge about the theater a little bit, and maybe some other things too. Okay. All right. First question: who founded the Williamstown Theatre Festival, and in what year?
Great question.
Yeah.
So the founders were a group of gentlemen that included the late great Henry Flint. And another group of men in 19, and this is actually a little debatable.
Oh, okay.
We think 55. It depends if you look in the incorporation papers versus the first year that they were actually operational.
Yeah.
But we say in our literature, 1955. And the first artistic director, who is actually not the founder, a little note, sometimes there's a little confusion around that, was Nikos Sakaropoulos.
You know, and my second question was going to be, now the Nikos is named after, the Nikos stage is named after him, right?
Correct.
The first artistic director.
Correct.
And my second question was going to be, pronounce his last name, which you just did beautifully.
Thank you so
Because there's 2 P's and some CH's in there, and man, you did much better than I did.
And it doesn't end in R-E or E-R, so it's almost a miracle that I knew that.
Right. Could you say it one more time for everybody?
Sakaropoulos.
Ooh, it just rolls off the tongue. Very good. All right. Okay, now here's the thing. I'm going to name 3 actors.
Okay.
Okay. One of these actors has not performed at the theater festival.
Oh my gosh.
And I want you to tell me which one, okay?
I don't know if I can do it.
All right. First, I'm going to name 3 names, okay?
Right.
Ready? Sigourney Weaver, Kevin Bacon, and Christopher Walken. Of those 3, which has not performed at the
I'm going to
theater
go with
festival?
Kevin Bacon. You know, he spent some time up here my first summer because his wife, Kira Sedgwick,
Oh, yeah, right.
was on one of our stages.
Yeah.
And I feel like he maybe told me he'd never done a show here.
That's actually correct. Kevin Bacon has never done a show here, but yeah, his wife was here a couple years ago doing a show, right?
Yeah, I would have been really embarrassed if I'd gotten that wrong.
Interesting fact, though. Jenny Bacon,
Yes,
who is of no relation,
yes.
played Laura in the production of The Glass Menagerie in 1988 here at the theater festival.
You are a historian. You are a veritable historian.
Yeah, and
Desi.
Sigourney Weaver and Christopher Walken, in fact, they performed together at a show. They did A Streetcar Named Desire, another Tennessee Williams play in 1986.
So noted.
Okay, last question. Who's your favorite new kid? Danny, Donnie, Joey, John, or Jordan?
Oh my. Can I pass?
Okay,
Is that
you
okay?
can pet. You know who I'm talking about, right? The new
like
kids on the block. Right,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, you're aging me so enormously.
I figured this was right in your wheelhouse, no?
And yet accurately, I can't lie. It's true. It's true.
I'll just say Joey, because Joey was everybody's
That was
favorite.
Fatone. Is that the Joey to which you refer?
No, that was that NSYNC?
Oh, you know, I have my boy bands.
Joey McIntyre.
Oh, Joey
He was the young one in
McIntyre.
New Kids on the
Yeah.
Block.
You know, I was not a huge boy band.
Not a boy band kind of
fan.
gal, yeah.
I'm from
yeah.
Miami, so it was
yeah.
it wasn't cool enough.
All right, well, we'll pass on that one
All right,
then.
cool.
But it was a nice discussion nonetheless, right?
So nice.
Well,
So nice.
Mandy, you've been doing a tremendous job with the theater festival.
Thank you, Desi.
And it's always a pleasure to head down to the 62 Center in the summer and check out some amazing theater right here in the Berkshires. And if you're coming to see a show, which Mandy Greenfield has anything to do with, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a great treat. Mandy,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Desi. You're such a wonderful interviewer.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And we'll see you next time on Meat and Potatoes. See you guys. Woohoo!
This program is supported in part by a grant from the Cultural Council of Northern Berkshires, a local agency which is supported by the Massachusetts Cultural Council, a state agency. Thanks for watching.